is the one and only. How are you doing, Mishmeister? You doing good?
I'm doing well, man. It's great to have everything going on at the same time. Baseball, football. It's a lot
I
to
just
keep
want to
up
get to
with.
the baseball playoffs. I just want to get to the playoffs.
We're
That's
almost
it.
there. We're almost there.
Almost there, man. So, does Judge get to break steroid records?
Looks like it. I mean, he's getting really close. I,
Don't
I don't
don't
I don't know that he's going to hit
you,
more than
you get
61.
that feeling? Do you get that feeling that the rest
Yeah,
of
I
us
think he's
are
going
like,
to do it. Yeah.
please, dude, no, but just like, please, dude, beat the cheaters. Like, please, do us a favor, beat the cheaters,
Well,
right?
he's not going to beat the
There's
cheaters. That's not going to happen.
no, not to 70. No.
No, come on. I
What
mean,
is
if
it?
there was another 100 games,
What is it? 73, right? It's something like that, right? Is it like that?
73 for Bonds, 70 for
Yeah.
McGuire, 66 for Sosa.
Does now he won't even get to Sosa?
No, he'll get Maris, 61.
Yeah, he'll get Maris. He'll definitely get, but that's not the cheater, bro. Come on, that's the problem. Poor Maris.
I know. I think Maris's family said that he was they were disappointed that Judge considered Bonds the home run record. So
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm with the family there. I look at Roger as still the home run record for me. But I will say there would be it would be nice for a clean player, or what we think is a clean player.
we really don't
Uh,
know.
right, we really don't know. I mean, in the end.
You assume.
Um yeah, we assume. We assume. It's just Judge looks like a good dude overall, bro. I don't know what you know personally about him,
I
but
don't know a
he
lot.
huh?
I don't
No?
know a lot about him. No.
Oh, he looks like a decent dude, bro. He does. I'll tell you this, for a Yankee player, he's actually a guy you would root for, and some Yankee players in the past, maybe you don't root for him and all that, arrogant or something like that, but that's one dude that is you can root for him, man.
Seems like he's got a pretty tight grip on his outside life. So that usually means that what you see is what you get.
Are you looking at the Yankees in a better light for the postseason right now than
Not
what we've
really.
seen in the because you kind of still feel that the in other words, are the Mets better built for the postseason than the Yankees?
Yes, I do think so.
Why?
The Yankees
Explain
have
that.
the
Explain that
Mets.
to me.
The Mets have DeGrom and Scherzer, and I think that if provided Marte is healthy, I think that the Mets offense replicates, if not maybe even better. They have a lot of bat to ball skills. They take a lot of pitches. They got Nimmo getting on base. You got Marte coming up. You got Alonso. You got Francisco Lindor. I mean, I think on paper the Mets are absolutely in a better position to beat the Yankees. The only problem with the Mets is they have to go through the Dodgers. That's a big issue.
Right, exactly. And in the American League, you're still looking at it as the Astros, and the Astros also better built for the postseason
Yes.
too. You feel
Yes.
right?
And Verlander comes back Friday. I think
Right.
the team that has my interest the most, just to see what kind of damage they can do, because it appears like they're that team of destiny. And again, that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, is Seattle. Seattle does feel like they're
Okay.
that team that's going to make a big run here. But they got to go through Tampa Bay in the first round and got to start on the road too, because Tampa Bay will probably be the first wild card. But if Seattle gets by Tampa, I could see them getting very far, very far.
Yeah. Right now, Tampa, Seattle, and Baltimore. Well, Baltimore's a half game out. Are you shocked with Baltimore, by the way?
I'm
The
surprised.
season they've
I'm
had, because I
surprised.
did not see I
Yeah.
did not see this coming from Baltimore. I got to
They
be
didn't
honest.
see it either. They did not see
Oh,
it
okay.
either.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that what this does for them is it puts the Orioles. See, this. Maybe the people who only follow baseball the last 10 years don't, but the Orioles have this historic franchise and a lot of experience with spending money. Like they did this in the past. They got like
Yeah.
big free agents. So I really think that with the farm system that they have and the young kids that have come up, that you're going to see them in the offseason put the pedal down and start getting some free agents and really try and fight to win the division. And by the way, not impossible that they can. I don't think anyone in that division is formidable enough at this point to think that the Orioles can't take a big step next year. So that's the team I'll be watching.
Yeah. No, definitely. And what happened? What happened with that franchise? Why did they not stay the course of being a
Yeah.
highly respectable franchise like they were for so long?
Yeah, so the issue was, and it has now changed, is the owner of the team is still the owner now, Peter Angelos, although there's a lot of fighting amongst family, like who owns the team and who doesn't. They didn't have their TV rights completed at the time. There's been fighting with that as well. But really, the critical mistake that the Orioles made, which kind of put them behind the eight ball for a few years, was the owner refused to spend any money internationally to get these highly touted prospects, like the ones that you're seeing play, like Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna. And I mean, I could do this forever. Rafael
And
Devers.
what do you want to do? Build a wall and keep them out?
He just refused to spend any money on him. He would not. He just did not feel like it was a worthwhile acquisition to be in the mix, spending that bonus pool that they got and going out
Half
there.
your league is led by Hispanic players. Yeah, no, it's not worth it.
He
What
didn't
the
do
hell?
it. And so what happened was they basically fired everybody, and they hired as the vice president and general manager a guy named Mike Elias, who came over from the Houston Astros. And that's the way that they did business with the Astros. Say what you want about the cheating. I don't know about you, Orlando. Does it really matter? The Astros are winning 90, 100 games every year. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Trash. Like, everyone is still on this trash cans thing. Honestly, I get it. I
Well, you
understand.
got busted for cheating, bro. I mean, it's just it's
But
there. You got to carry it, dude. We how long were they talking Black Sox?
But they didn't even need to do it, Houston. They're still, look at, they're
80
right
years
back where they
later,
were.
they did a movie of the Black Sox. You know what I mean?
It's a shame that they did that, because honestly, they didn't need to. But Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa, Yordan
Tim
Alvarez. Well, they
Donaghy,
got him from LA.
Sammy Sosa. It doesn't. Once you get busted for cheating and it's visible there, it's there for everybody to see. Your corked bat exploding, Sammy. After you said, all these
I remember
things
that too.
just
Yeah.
you're done. You're done. It follows you forever, bro. I don't care if you're Art Schlichter. Okay, it doesn't matter. It stays with you like luggage, bro.
It
It's
does,
just
but it appears that it didn't make a difference because Houston is still just as
right.
good.
What it appears is that the Astros cheated, but they were also damn good.
Still are.
So it's like giving Barry Bonds steroids. Barry Bonds was a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Yes.
a 5-tool stud. He wasn't a power hitter, but he was a 5-tool stud that will get you 27, 35 home runs. Okay, that's what Barry was in those days. So he was an automatic, but then all of a sudden now you juice him, and well, then all of a sudden the ball looks like a grapefruit, and now the ball is going out, out of the park all the time, and chicks dig the long ball. So
Anyway,
that's all it is. It's Houston was a great team, and you gave a great team another advantage.
right. So Jeff Luhnow was the one that was running that team, but his right hand man was Mike Elias, and Elias left Houston, and the Orioles owner came in and said, "You know what? What we're doing here the last 5-10 years is spending a lot of money on free agents. We're not winning. We have no what can I do?" Mike Elias comes in and says, "Here's the deal. I'm going to have to tear this down. I'm going to do it the same way that I did it in Houston. We're going to be really bad for 5 years, but we're not just going to be really bad. We're going to be awful. We're going to be so awful that we're going to get the first pick in the draft every year. Not the third, not the fifth, the first." They did it. They did it. they got some unbelievable.
So they did the Sixers. They did the Sixers thing, right? The what's that called?
All the way down, all the way down, and now it's paid off. It's another reason that when people say tanking is bad and look, no one really likes it. I get it. It looks like it's going to work again with the Orioles because they're loaded in their farm system, and they have a good market to spend money. And the way that they have it going right now, next year and for the next 5-10 years, they're going to be extremely formidable. Very good team.
Tanking's not bad as long as you know what to do with everything that you get after that. Because if you're going to put your franchise through it and you're going to put your fan base through it, you better make it worth their while.
Absolutely.
But then again, when you're a franchise that's been floundering for, I don't know, a couple decades now, what the hell, dude? Go for it. Do it anyway. That's why what Chris Greer did a couple of years back, what the hell? You weren't doing anything for 20 years anyway. So why not tear it completely down to the bone and then rebuild it, and maybe it ends up working out. So we'll find out. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. On the flip,
and by the way, that's the way if you're gonna do it, some teams have tried to duct tape it and said, and you know what, the Marlins are in that category where
Right.
they didn't go, they went really far down, but not far enough, like not all the way to the core, and they tried to kind of pull out of it a little too quick. And the Orioles were just like, nah, we're losing 100 for like 5 straight years, man. And they did, and they got Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson, and and some 2 stud starting pitchers that they have coming up. It is going to be something to watch. Anyway,
All right, that's good. It's good to see the Orioles. It would be nice to see them back. And plus, dude, if you're going to be in that division with those 2 monsters, and then Tampa Bay doing their thing,
Toronto,
you got 2 teams that spend a lot of money. Yeah, in Toronto, and then and Tampa. Man, you got a lot of stuff to compete with. All right. On the flip side, now we talked about the wild card on the American League side.
mm-hmm.
San Diego, just outside looking in right now, considering everything that they've done. And I know they've also had some setbacks too. How much of a disaster would it be for the Padres if they don't make the postseason?
It would be bad, but I think it would. I've said all along, I think when I was on with you when they did this, that they were playing more for next year. But now with Tatis out, that changes the game a little bit. Look, I mean, Soto has not been as good as they thought he would be in San Diego, but I still don't question his ability. It is very hard to just mash unit a team and just bring a bunch of dudes together and expect that you're going to win a World Series. But you're right, Orlando, making the postseason, if they didn't get in, would be a little bit disastrous. But I do think them having a full spring training with these guys next year, getting Tatis back in June, having Soto, some of these other players that they have in Machado's, have a great year. I think next year will be a year you'll see them jump off a little bit. It wouldn't shock me to see them not make it.
All right. So let me just end it with the negativity. The Marlins. What do we know? What is the plan for next year? Do they plan on doing anything for us to try to, entice us to love
Like what?
baseball again? Win. Try to win. Try to really be a decent team. I'm not asking you to go out and challenge the damn Dodgers, because I know you can't. They've got an endless amount of cash. But I'm just saying,
it'll be a lot. I will say this. It will be a lot more interesting to have me on in a few weeks than it will be for the next few weeks, because I just don't think that look, do I know some things that are happening, and do I have a little bit more of a clearer picture? Yes, I do. I'm not going to say that I don't. But I'm not going to sit. There's a lot of jobs that are at stake right now with the Marlins Orlando. I wouldn't want to be that person that someone's talking about me like that. So what I'd like to do, and I promise that I will, is in the end, when this all gets blown up at the end of the season, I don't know to what degree it will be, but there'll be a lot of changes. When it happens, we will definitely run through it. I think that they're formulating a plan as to how to move forward a little bit, and I think it will be interesting. And again, there'll be a lot of information that I'll be able to bring to you, but it's kind of pointless right now. What's happening right now? It's a disaster. They're playing out the stretch.
I know.
They
I don't
can't
care
score
about
runs.
this
It's no
disaster.
fun. To answer your question directly, are they going to be in a position next year to win? Win what? They're not going to make the postseason next year based on the team that they have this year.
Yeah,
Are they
but I
going to
mean,
spend money?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, a little bit, but not to your liking. Not enough to your liking.
Man, I just want our baseball team to be decent, dude. God,
Well, you're telling me. I mean, I've been doing this for 5 years.
I know.
I've been doing this for, what am I talking? I take it back. I've been doing this since almost 1993. Okay.
Yeah, you've been doing it.
I've been around longer than anybody covering this team in some way as media, but I've been really the last 5 years when they started over again. I jumped back in harder because I believed in what was going to happen. And now we've hit this huge fork in the road again. And this is another, no one wants to say it. It is sort of another direction. Another rebuild is strong, but it's another.
No, they're not good enough to be called a rebuild.
It's right, but with Jeter gone and Gary Denbo gone and more people gone after the season, it's another little bomb drop, and say, okay, now where do we go from here? It's tough, man. It's tough. I can't sit here and say that their win projection, when we do that next year, Orlando, on Fangraphs or FanDuel or anywhere else you want to go, if you said to me, based on what you know, Craig, and what you think they'll add in the offseason, how many games do you think that their projected number to bet against, win or lose, or what will they project it to be? It's going to be in the 70s. It's going to be in the mid to low 70s again. So they will have to be massive overachievers next year to make people happy. And they're only going to win about 65 games this year. So you're telling me that they're going to, no matter what they do, they're going to have a 20 game improvement next year based on moves they make this offseason? You know that's.
They'll have another young, they'll have some kind of a young and unproven manager or something on this team.
I would agree.
Yeah, they're not going to have.
But again, as we get closer to all of that, I will absolutely be able to shed a lot more light on it. Unfortunately, I'll be fun with you because I enjoy doing this with you, but it's going to be a boring, no info conversation until we get to the end. And full transparency, that's what the Marlins Orlando are waiting for. As soon as this season ends, or right on the cusp of the end,
turn the page
in terms of that will open up. There's nothing that I could say right now that's going to add any color to this until those things happen.
You can already tell changes are coming. All right, tell them about the Sports Grid, my friend, so they can check you out twice a day.
Yes, 2:00 Eastern. We're back on the air today, so I go have some lunch, take a break, and then I'm back at 2:00 Eastern on Sports Grid. We talk about the business of sports betting. We're starting to get some numbers in from sports betting around the country in the month of August, and they're providing data on the first week of the NFL season in September and like geolocations, how many people are betting. We cover that kind of topic at 2:00 Eastern. So stay tuned for that. And then fantasy football is here. So every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'm doing fantasy football talk.
There you go. Talk about the Cleveland Browns' new logo for an hour.
We did that already today. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody's done it. Oh my God. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Craig Mish. Check out Swings and Mishes. It is a Marlins podcast.
Sorry.
What can I tell you? Sports Grid. That's where you really want to check him out. Of course, the Herald, So he's all over. He's like Sagua Fair. He's everywhere. He is Craig Mish. Craig, much love, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
All right. Have a great week, Orlando. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We step out of the batter's box like John Crook getting thrown by Randy Johnson.